Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You're here with Trish and Steve. Steve Bose, how are you?
I am well, Trish. How are you?
I'm good. Did you have a nice Christmas?
I did. Thank you very much. I hope you did as well.
I did. And can I just tell the listeners, you actually got me a really nice Christmas present? Well, actually,
I am thoughtful that way.
you got me two nice things, which I did tweet one of them out because we put together our big ultimate list of books to read for
Yes.
2023. This was not on it, but I kind of unofficially stuck it in at the end because
Okay.
you got me the book, The Metaverse, right?
That's right. I know
Which
you are very, very into what's happening in the metaverse and
I
the
am.
future of potential
And
future of metaverse
And
applications.
specifically, I'm pro metaverse. Let's
Yeah,
just, because there's a lot of
I think I am
naysayers
too.
out there. I'm like pro metaverse. I see all sorts of possibilities. We're not even going to share what we're doing yet in the metaverse,
No,
but
keep that
let's
under
just say.
wraps.
But anyway, so I'm excited for the book. But you got me some really nice porcelain china mugs from our friends at Pantone, and
Yes,
it has the color aubergine on them.
aubergine. Of course. Who
I've
does
been
not love
using them.
aubergine?
I've been using them every day. And purple is my favorite color. Like a dark purple is
Hmm.
my favorite color. Always
Yeah.
has been.
Well,
So
sweet. I'm
thank you.
glad you enjoyed that. Yes. Yes, and
Yeah, it was really
you
nice.
you did as well. Got me a very thoughtful gift, and you could sort of see it hanging on the wall over
I do see it over
my
your
left
shoulder.
shoulder.
I'm
You should
going
have grabbed it prior to the show, but that is a Wolfsburg scarf in support of my favorite German soccer team, Wolfsburg. So thank you, love it. I can't wait
Yeah,
to wear it. I got to go to a Wolfsburg game, so that is my. I
I
haven't
think
written
you do.
down yet my goals for 2023, and I'm going to. I think this year. It's not something I ever really do, but I think I
Right.
want to this year. And one of the things on my list will be to attend a Wolfsburg game in 2023. How about that? And I'll bring my
I like
scarf.
that. I like that.
That'll be
Do you know
exciting.
what? That's interesting. Of course, I watched TikTok, and I believe it was
Who
one
doesn't?
where it was Steve Harvey. You know Steve Harvey,
Yes,
Family
I'm familiar with
Feud,
Steve.
and all
Sure.
sorts of other things,
Big
right?
star. Yeah.
Entertainer. He had this little clip where he said, basically, he recommends you write down, you sit down in one setting and you write down 300 things that you want to do in your life.
That's a lot of
300.
things. Okay.
It's a lot of things. They can be little things, big things, whatever. You going to the game would be one of the things. But the purpose is you write these all down, like anything you can dream of, even if you might not ever get to do it, whatever. You put it on this sort of wish list of 300 things, and then you don't look at it for the next year.
Okay.
And then at the end of every year, the activity is to go back and cross out even a few that you've done that year so that
Hmm.
slowly over time, instead of like you're saying like, oh, that's going to be my one thing for the year or whatever, right? We
Right.
set resolutions. And so his is kind of the flip, right? It's kind of saying like, these are all the things I ever hope to do, whether they're realistic or not. And then, yeah, but you can feel accomplished then at the end of every year because you're not continuously trying to think of like, oh, what am I going to do this year? You kind of know
Right.
these are the things I would love to accomplish as a human and do and see and whatever. So that's my tip, Steve. Go write
All
down
right.
300.
I'm not sure I could get to 300, but
It's a lot.
I
It's a
like the
lot.
idea of that. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll
Even
make
100,
some sort of modification between what I
right?
was maybe going to do and the Steve Harvey recommendation. I have a few more
Yeah.
days. What is it today? The 28th. So we've got a few more days.
It's the 28th. Can I tell you though, I'm already starting to read like all the trends, hair trends, fashion trends.
Mm-hmm.
Can I share with you some of the travel trends for
Sure.
2023?
Please.
Because I think these are going to be doable. A lot of these are doable. And some are kind of like, not that interesting. And some are actually kind of interesting. So I'm going to run through them really quick. This is from USA Today if you want to go and like read all about it. Really quickly though, cheap flights to Europe are actually already
Sure.
happening.
Okay.
I've already taken one. I know that's going to continue into 2023. So if you ever had a desire to go to Europe or go back to European countries, 2023 is your year.
Who
More
doesn't?
people are going to be visiting national parks
Hmm.
here in your own country. Drivable, obviously, after this latest fiasco with Southwest Airlines, and who knows if those people are ever going to get
Yeah.
home, right? Everyone is
No,
stranded everywhere, literally.
it's been awful, and I feel badly for folks who are still trying to get wherever they're going. It's been a terrible, terrible story. Yeah.
It's unimaginable that there's not an answer, really, to me. But at any rate, so national parks.
Okay.
beaches, especially during the off season.
Okay. So like what? In the summertime? When is the off season?
Yeah,
I'm not
year
I feel
round.
like everywhere I've gone in the last year or so, year and a half, it's always been crowded no matter what. I remember
Yeah,
I went to Epcot Center a couple
I
of
love
months
Epcot.
ago,
That's my
and
favorite place.
yeah, I love Epcot. It was on Monday or a Tuesday. I can't remember which. It was a weekday,
Okay.
and it was a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, so
Okay.
not a school break, at least for the US,
Oh, so
right?
just like a regular Monday,
Children
Tuesday?
would have been in school. It's just a normal Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday weekday prior to the holidays, and I'd never seen it more crowded. I've been to Epcot, I don't know, 10 times probably in my life. I'd
Yeah.
never ever seen that place more crowded than it was on that particular day. So I'm thinking to myself, and I'm going in, I was thinking, well, I probably won't be too busy today because it's not a holiday, it's a weekday, and
Yeah.
kids are allegedly in school. None of those
Legend.
things were accurate, and it was crowded, most crowded I'd ever seen it.
Amazing. I don't know. I feel like Disney, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens with them because just recently they raised their prices again and everybody's like freaking out. But I
Well, I
think they
mean,
do that. I think they're
they can
trying
sell
to
the
do it
tickets,
to
I
cut
think. Yeah.
down on the number of people that are there,
Yeah, the demand is there for
right?
sure. Based on, at least I
Yeah.
was there for 2 days, and both parks I went to were both massively, massively crowded on
Yeah, and
weekdays.
that's not
So,
really fun. That's
yeah,
just to be honest, that's not
still had a
fun.
good time, but yeah.
All right, a couple more on the list. Cool accommodations. So, and I just literally opened up Airbnb just to see what comes open first. I didn't even look to see where this was. The very first Airbnb that popped up for me was a covered wagon. So, covered
Okay.
wagons, Airstreams, cool accommodations, something
Okay.
that's unusual, different, whatever.
Treehouse kind of thing. Sure. Okay.
Tree that was one they mentioned. Yes, a tree house, somewhere different. Take your family somewhere different. This next one, glamping. Now that kind of started pre-pandemic, but
Mhm.
I want to give a shout out to our friend of the show, Matt Bragstad. He has started a business with a partner called Your Glamping Adventure. You can find them at
Nice.
yourglampingadventure.com
I'd like to
or
glamp.
on Facebook, Your Glamping Adventure. But
Okay.
they just opened a place just outside a little bit kind of like southeast of Nashville
Okay.
in Smithville, Tennessee. You can glamp. I mean, these are like those really cool domes overlooking the most scenic like I need to go.
Yeah, I
I
like
need to
that.
go.
That does sound pretty
Matt
fun.
Matt Bragstad, if you're listening, I need to get over there. Okay, here's another fun one, which we have a connection with. Family run hotels so that you can have a personal connection to the owners of the space, right?
Okay.
So our friends, Frank Zupan and Tammy Colson, who are married, they opened their own place in Cleveland,
Okay.
and I will tweet the link out to that as well. So you
Is
can
that
go
also
and
glamping in Cleveland or
it
some
is
other type
not
of accommodation?
glamping, but let me tell you what, and here's why I thought of them when I saw that whole personal connection part, because you and I both know we've been to Cleveland on business. Frank and Tammy, neither of which is originally from Cleveland, are like the
Hmm.
best tourist hosts for that city. Like they are the ambassador family for Cleveland. I never knew Cleveland had so many fun things to do, so many great
Cleveland is
restaurants,
underrated. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
theaters,
Mhm.
everything. It was
Rock
like
and Roll
us
Hall
and
of
a couple
Fame.
other people, right? We went to a baseball game, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Everything. So Frank and Tammy, I'm going to tweet out the link to go visit them in Cleveland because you will not be disappointed. The last three, skip gen vacations, where you skip a generation. So grandparents taking grandchildren, but without
Wow.
the
That seems like a
parental units.
scam, like, that parents are putting on in order to get a little break from their kids, but okay.
Yes. However, all inclusive vacations are big. So then maybe the parents run off
Nice.
and go to an all inclusive. The last one, I don't know how I feel about it. The last one for 2023, guided tours for families.
Guided tours. Okay,
I'm
I've done
not
some of
big
that,
on
mostly in foreign
guided tours.
countries. Yeah, could be
Uh,
okay.
I don't know. I'm more of a, but I guess if you've not been somewhere or you've got a bunch of kids you're trying to
I took
corral.
a really memorable guided tour years and years ago to see the Great Wall of China when I was in Beijing,
Was that a guided
and
tour?
it was, and I'm glad
Okay.
because despite how big that wall is, I doubt I would have found it myself. I just feel like if I just would have set off to locate the wall, I might not have stumbled upon it. So I was glad to have a guide for that trip.
Yeah, you know what? in that instance, that makes sense to me. So if you're seeing some really exotic place you've never been, I just saw right before we went on, our friend Ben Brooks from the CEO from Pilot is in Abu Dhabi for the new
Ah,
year.
nice.
And he's literally
Is
in
it
the
already the
desert.
new year there? That's like 4 days ahead, I think, in
I
Abu
know,
Dhabi, right? The
right?
time zone
No,
might
but
already
I'm
be
thinking like
2023.
I've been to Dubai, but I wouldn't even know how to literally find the desert. So that would have been a good situation where maybe you need a
Yeah,
guide.
that's a little bit easier. You kind of just get on a road and head straight for a while and put the city
Really?
behind you. You'll eventually hit the desert.
This looked so beautiful. I mean, he was walking through the sand and was kind of videoing it, and it looks like water rippling.
Nice.
It's just something to do with the sand and the air and yeah, it's beautiful. So anyway, so that is your trend list from USA Today, travel trends
I
of
love it.
23.
Beautiful. Well, this is probably our last show of the year, so I just want to
It
say 2
is
quick things. Go Gamecocks. I'm wearing my hat today. They're playing Notre Dame in the Gator
Friday.
Bowl on Friday. So we'll be rooting
Okay.
for my Gamecocks to cap off the season with a thrilling victory. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch the game. Go Gamecocks.
I hope we watch it together because my boyfriend Antonio, as you know, will be in town and he is a Notre Dame fan. So
Try not to
maybe we
hold that
should have a
against
little
them.
wager on that. Should we bet on the game?
We
Little
should.
side bet? Anyway, hey everyone, we just want to thank you as always for joining us, for listening to all the shows on the HR Happy Hour Podcast Network, for just all the messages and reaching out, and for those of you that recently participated in the book list for 2023. Super fun way to get everybody together and kind of get your inclusion and voices heard. So thank you everyone for such a great year of 22, and
Absolutely.
cheers to the next, right? Steve, one
Absolutely.
last question for you. Do you have, I know sometimes you have kind of a theme or a word or something, a thought for the year ahead. Have you given any time thinking about that? Is there some sort of word or theme for next year?
Only one so far. I haven't thought about this a lot. Here it is. Chunky.
All right, I'm writing it down. Chunky. I will follow up with you 1 year from today and we'll see if that played out in some way, shape, or form.
I'm sure it will.
I don't know. All right. Hey, everyone. Happy New Year early. We will catch you back here in 23.